we think that it is a small hospital, 30, 40 bed, and why do we need a DPR or a feasibility report? This is important because you get a clarity in your own mind that what you want to create or what you want to make. What is the DPR and how it is to be made? So what is the DPR? Let me first start from the DPR only. DPR is a detailed project report. Why it is important? See, whenever we are planning a hospital, big or small, it is important to have a concepts clear. And what happens that normally we think that it is a small hospital, 30, 40 bed, and why do we need a DPR or a feasibility report? This is important because you get a clarity in your own mind that what you want to create or what you want to make, as well as you will be having clarity when you go to the bank and get them ask for money. So how you have to plan all that? If you do it in a planned way, even if it is a 30-bed hospital, you might not go for a professional DPR, but we have given a template to you. You can take help of your architect and take help of your CA and create a DPR and a project feasibility report, which will give you a lot of clarity in a very short time. A lot of things like your planning, replanning, and unplanning is prevented. And what happens that so many times we are not having a proper idea of what you want to create, and then later on, when new things keeps adding, that will increase the budget to multiple folds. What it has is first point is review of literature. This is some little masala which you add in the initial part of the DPR, which has the overview of the market, how the Indian market or the wherever your locality is there, which state you're going to start the hospital, what is the things which are present there, or the demographic details, or little bit background. Then comes the industry overview. What is the healthcare status of that particular area? The brief market study. I'll show you the template also. These are the points we are going to discuss. And then what is the health background? Then comes the project highlights. So what all points you need to clarify? 10 points. First is what is the nature of the hospital? Whether you are creating a general hospital, multi-specialty, or a super specialty hospital. What is the number of beds? This is very important. You have to be clarity on the number of beds. And I would usually advise that don't go for the maximum number of beds. Keep some beds for extension or the growth. If you are planning for 50 beds, start with 30 beds, and then you can always increase. Then comes who are the promoters, who are the investors or promoters for the hospital. What is the plot size? And then you have to understand that along with the plot size, you have to understand the local rules also. Locally, how much area is allowed constructed? Usually 50% is the FAR. So how much construction is actually permitted in that plot size? What is the total build-up area you want to have? What is the building cost? What is the total project cost? What equipments you want to get? Like there are two types of equipments. One is a good to have and one is must have. So must have equipment you should be keeping in the first list, and good to have in the second part. And then what are the means of financing? These things you can get with the help of an architect also, and you can put it down in the tabular form, and then you can proceed. Now we on to the proposed hospital. So in the proposed hospital, these are the questions you should be asking yourself and to the owner, or maybe if you are taking a property from on rent, then this hospital is having what is your profile, what are you going to cover, what should be the covered area, how you will construct, what are the facilities which you are going to have, what are the hospital services you are offering, and what are the support services you are offering. Then comes a very important point is the location of the hospital, where you are going to have it, whether it is on the main road, whether it is on the suburb region, whether it is close to a big hospital, other hospitals are there or not. Then list of major equipments, what all instruments you're going to have, and like CT scan, MRI, you're planning something, USG machines, echo machines, and things like those. If you're going to have ICU, that will require some dedicated instruments for ICU. Then what is your building plan or program, where architect will give you inputs. And there is schedule of implementation, how you're going to phase-wise develop the whole thing, the whole project. It's especially important if you are constructing a hospital. And then the organization chart, the chart which will tell you about hierarchy of the people and how the organization is working in your setup. Then the project cost and means of financing. How are you planning to have the finances? Whether you're going to take a simple loan, whether a project loan, or sometimes what we do is that we split the financial bulk of the project into two parts. One is a project loan and one is a instrument loan. Sometimes because in some other states there is a very good schemes of offering some concession on these instruments. This can be disadvantage you must take. There is a lot of state governments which are having multiple policies in which either they are subsidizing the instruments cost, or they are actually giving the money for the infrastructure. And then there are some places they are also giving the rebate on the initial first few years, they have a rebate on the electricity use or loans also. So there are good loans are also available. So you should keep checking for that. Then something about the promoters, the vision and how do you want to go about it, the technology what you want to start, and the functional part. Functional part is like how would you actually organize the whole thing? What will be the entrance like? What will be the administrative area like? What is the OPD that like? And then finally feasibility report.